Everybody, Nancy Hart here, Whole Heart Evolution. It is Wednesday, it's Mindset Tune-Up time. And I'd like to challenge us with a word that's been kind of loud in my life this last week. And I got to explore what it meant to me and was a little surprised at what I discovered, unearthed, and was really excited to kind of shift my perspective with again, or be reminded. And that word this week, ladies and gentlemen, is easy, E-A-S-Y. I don't know how many of you remember, and maybe you still have them, those buttons, those big red buttons from one of the big box office supply stores that had easy on it, and you could smack it and, annoy your colleagues or your kids or your dog. Oh, that was easy. Wouldn't it be interesting if that were one of our operating parameters? Where we could more often than not hit that button internally, externally, make up our own, record our own, that says, that was easy. Now, what's so interesting about that is, I don't know about any of you out there, but I actually had discovered this past week that I had some old beliefs about what easy is, what that means for me, that there was actually some emotional charge around that idea versus seeing it for the tool that it is. Did any of you ever grow up with or kind of on board with you? Maybe you're like me, maybe you're a Midwesterner, maybe we heard this growing up, maybe we are old enough to have taken it in from some exercise video that, kind of the old feel the burn thing, right? Or no pain, no gain. It all segues into this idea that I was carrying around on board that easy equals something not worthwhile. That easy means maybe you're being lazy. That maybe it's whatever it is, it's not worthwhile. That because we, all of us hadn't efforted to create this, that somehow whatever it was that we're creating made it less than. Sound a little convoluted? Yeah, it kind of is. Here's the story from this past week. A little transparency on my part about something that I find challenging, and I understand now why, and what the importance of reframing what easy is for me. And maybe for those of you who are carrying around this idea that easy may not be the best way to think about things, or a way to think about things that can be really empowering for us. The story is this. Some of you know I'm in the process of building a new website for Whole Heart Evolution. And I've been working with my web designer, and we were navigating a piece of technology that neither she nor I were familiar with. And I told myself a story about that. So in all transparency, new technology and me aren't necessarily the easiest partners. I've had some resistance in past, and for those of you who've been around me for a while, please feel free to chuckle because you've navigated me through it. That there are days when the vocabulary of a particular program I found to be sort of a mental block for me. That if I couldn't pick it up right away, if I couldn't understand it right away, then I got very, very frustrated and would, angle to the nearest person I could find to, get me out of this. Is there an easier way to do it? Or if I was lucky enough, can I just delegate this to you? Thanks very much. Not so here. This is something I really wanted to learn, but there was such resistance. And it was more than I'd felt before, just in terms of, oh my gosh, I've got to take the time, I've got to take the breath to learn something new. There's a high learning curve. I have a deadline that's looming. And how am I going to get all this done in the time I have available? I was feeling the deadline. And I had enough wherewithal to just pull back and realize, as I was looking at this whole thing, was I making this harder than it needed to be? Was there a way for me to make this easy or easier? What might that look like? And this is what I came to. I'm looking at my web designer. She is an incredibly capable, incredibly talented individual who has her arms around a lot of things. And I'm watching both of us, two intelligent individuals, really struggle and in my opinion, really waste time with what ultimately was an idea and a product that I had brought to the table. I had kind of forced on us because I thought it was what I was supposed to do. This was the particular product I was supposed to use. And come to find out, it wasn't necessarily all that intuitive. Come to find out that when I actually pulled back, and here's the real point of this, everybody. When I pulled back and I looked at it, I realized, am I missing the mark here? It's not that I wasn't willing to effort and to keep trying, but that resistance, sometimes, we hit a wall, we hit a wall, we hit a wall, we hit a wall, yeah? And it just seems like nothing's giving. We have this goal in mind and nothing's giving. Where am I cutting off the flow? Is there an easier way to have a look at this? And what I was reminded to do was go back and look at my big picture objective. If I'm facing resistance, is that a call to me to look for a different path to take? The path that's easier, or actually more importantly, more in flow with what it is that I want to create. And that actually was exactly the story, exactly what was happening for us. I had lost sight of what the actual goal was and substituted in what I thought I had to do to accomplish that goal. When we pulled back, looked at it, said, there's a completely different way to do this, path of less resistance, and boom. It was a program that she knew that was much more intuitive to me, and we are navigating through and forward, and I have a lot more support around it. Yay! That was easy. It wasn't necessarily easy getting there, but that was the path of least resistance. Easy became and received a bit of a new nuance for me. Heck, less than a nuance. And then I was reminded of something else, and this is something else that I want to share with you, that electricity, just the physics of electricity, follows the path with the least resistance. The greater flow, the greater current is the path with the least resistance. If you're feeling resistance, maybe you need to change the path. That was easy. Now, I want to just say, easy doesn't necessarily mean not efforting. For those of us who are from the Midwest or have that mindset that easy must look a certain way. No, easy can certainly have a lot of effort, but you can have ease in the flow of accomplishing the task, the idea, the vision, the goal on the other end. And that's what we want to keep in mind when we think about easy. So is easy a dirty word in your vocabulary? I invite you, like I invited myself, to kick that son of a gun to the corner. That when I'm in resistance, and ask myself a highly calibrated question, can I make this easy? What step could I take to make this easier? Step back, notice what I'm noticing, put my objective in front of it all, not the pathway. Inevitably, we will find the circuit. We will find the path of least resistance to obtain what it is that we want at the other end of the line. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you're hitting a wall, hit the easy button and see what ideas bubble up for you. So, put it in that happy category. Easy is good. You will effort along the way, trust me. So, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to hit the easy button tonight with those that you love, those that you're having fun with, something you might be challenged by, and let me know how you're doing with that. See if you can shift your results by hitting the easy button. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great night tonight. I look forward to seeing you next week. Hey, keep in touch. Keep your eyes open. WholeHeartEvolution.com. Our launch page is active. We're adding content every few days. Would love to have you join us for our Heartstrings newsletter and information funnel. Yay! So come on along, everybody. Got all kinds of good yummy treats for you on Heartstrings at WholeHeartEvolution.com. So I will see you soon, everybody. Take care. Bye for now.